Right, we've gone live. Mike is going to introduce you. Thought you was on about that.
That's what I was going to play in for. It didn't used to be good, but it is now. Are we live? Do we know how long the interviews are? We don't do it. Yeah, our interviews before we play them. I don't think we edit at the end of March. You won't be able to hear it, will you? No, not for me, it's for her.
I'll check it coming through.
I was just thinking, because the end of March, the over that, I can say that we have, if you got paid, one day. No, it's fine.
They're not very loud, but fine.
Because if you can hear what's being
But then when you play that way up monitors thing, I'm not really just be able to see when he's out.
One looked like, did you get a rough idea of how long it was?
No, but you'll get it.
It was about 4 minutes, right?
Good afternoon and welcome to Nottingham Wildcats Arena. We have WBBL Championship action between the Nottingham Wildcats and the BA London Lions. Earlier we caught up with both head coaches pre-game, starting with Barking's Mark Clark. Welcome to Wildcats Arena here with Barking coach Mark Clark before the game. Mark, obviously a difficult start to the season in terms of number of games you've played. How have the team adapted to the challenges of that so far?
Well, I think when players are used to practicing, playing every week, they get into a rhythm. And that's one of the challenges that I think we've all got to face. And we all knew it was going to be a bit of a season of a bumpy road as such. And, as Nottingham found out at the weekend, you've got to try and show up as ready as you can be every time. So it's a challenge, but I think the most important thing to stress is that players are always pleased to play. So once they get out here, then they should be ready to go.
And talking about your roster, obviously you made a lot of changes this off-season, brought in some real veteran players. Just talk about how they've helped, especially with bringing through more of the academy kids like you do year in, year out.
Well, I think it's important to stress that the relationship and integrating into Lions has been a big plus for us now. We've toyed with it, if you want, for the last couple of seasons. But with the commitment of the new ownership at Lions, we are able to add some real quality players. And as you say, that quality, when you bring in a Kennedy Leonard and you bring in a Cassie Green, that's helpful, that's great, really helps. And when you're able to bring back former students like Shanice Norton and Chantel Charles, that really does, complete a cycle for us. And that's a great role model thing for the younger players who are at the academy at the moment.
And then on to today, obviously Nottingham, a little bit of a different team in terms of they've got a lot more size. So how do you approach that in terms of dealing with a little bit more size with you having a little bit of a smaller lineup?
Well, they've got a great balance, haven't they? I mean, they're obviously well coached. We know, Kenrick and I know each other really well, and they've probably got the best rebounding big girl in the league by a long way. And they've obviously got a really talented point guard, but they've got some other really good players. I think they're very balanced across the roster. It's always in this situation down to how well you as a team execute your own game. And if we are able to impose ourselves on them, then we're in good shape.
Thank you very much and good luck this afternoon.
Thanks a lot, it's great to be here.
Welcome to Nottingham Wildcats Arena here with coach Kenrick Leybird for Nottingham versus Barking. Kenrick, disappointing last time out against Essex. What have you talked about in the week building up to this game?
Well, the call for us is defense. The biggest disappointment for us was giving up 47 points in the first half of a basketball game. It's unacceptable. So we've looked at this team as one of probably the best transition team in the league, running with 4 guards, four very quality Division 1 players coming into our league, good mix of British and American talent. Our job is to make them a half-court team and make sure that we challenge them every possession.
Obviously a little bit short-handed today, missing probably 3 of your top 8 in your rotation. Who do you need to step up to really help?
Well, we've always given opportunities since I've been here to some of the younger kids. We're going to see which number gets called, and their goal's got to be ready. We feel like our starting 5 is very strong. We feel like we've got some good young kids that can contribute, and we'll see who's ready when they're called.
And just on to Barking, obviously you mentioned they're a good transition team, brand new roster really in effect. What's the biggest challenge you're gonna face from that?
I think Kendi Leonard's ability to distribute the ball, coupled with the fact that Shanice is a fierce competitor. They've got maybe one of the best shooters in the league in Breen. And then you've got Chantal that can play off the bounce in many different ways. So they've got players that can play basketball, So our job is mainly to kind of make sure we defend possession by possession and we take our advantages, because I think we're a tough matchup as well.
And you talk about that matchup, obviously I think the key looking in is potentially trying to get into the paint and get consistent scoring inside the paint. How do you manage to do that against a team that are a little bit smaller?
I mean, I don't think, even the big teams can't stop us on the inside, really. So it's not like we're worried about being able to score the basketball. Where our big concerns are we disciplined enough to play defense when things go wrong? That's the question mark you have to ask. And again, one of the big things we've been talked about, last week we got punched in the mouth and it took us too long to respond. These guys are not people that are going to lie down. We've got to make sure that we're ready to respond as soon as that calling comes.
Thank you and good luck this afternoon.
Appreciate it. Fired up for it, man. Thank you.
Good to hear from both coaches there pre-game. Barking coming in 3-1 in all competitions, haven't actually lost a game since November the 22nd, the opening game at home to the Sevenoaks Suns. However, with all these COVID issues, Barking have only played the one game since Christmas. That was last weekend before last, where they hosted the Essex Rebels in the WBBL Trophy. The Lions advancing 83-69. Essex then bounced around 3 days after, hosted the Wildcats in a rematch of the game we saw here a couple of weeks ago. However, this time Essex victorious 95-91 in overtime. Wildcats slipping to their second loss in the league, and talking to the players before the game, they're saying that this game is vital for Nottingham if they want to stay in the hunt for league contention this year. Slipping to 2 and 3 early on would not be an ideal sign. Barking only the one league game, hosted just before Christmas against the Newcastle Eagles. A 85-72 victory. Cassie Breen with 26 points, all in the first half. The American lined up from downtown with 5 threes in the first 15 minutes of the game, and that propelled her team to a relatively comfortable victory over the Eagles. Nottingham today are missing multiple players, as we alluded to in the pre-game interview. Siobhan Pryor, Shania Rose McDonald and Praise Egbariba all out for the Wildcats, so a good chunk of the rotation will not be present. Lions are at full strength, and as alluded to, multiple GB internationals on the floor across junior and senior age groups. Kennedy Leonard, Chantel Charles, Shanice Beckford-Norton and Paige Robinson all have spent time in and around the GB setup, and Chantel Charles, of course, named to the 12 that will fly to Riga over the weekend to prepare for next Thursday's clash against Bulgaria. Lions this afternoon are starting Beckford-Norton wearing 3, Leonard 14, Robinson 22, Breen 10 and Charles wearing 13 for the Wildcats, who are still yet to work their way to the floor. 1 Shumpert, 3 Joyner, 8 Freeman, 12 Lundquist and 24 Costa. So it'll be Tia Freeman stepping into the starting lineup with the absence of Siobhan Pryor. As the Wildcats finally make their way to the floor, Coach Kenrick Leybird just taking a few extra seconds to get the final instructions across to his team. As we await tip-off here in Nottingham. The sole WBBL game today. However, we do have 3 games coming to you this weekend, with action from Essex, Durham and Leicester on Saturday before everyone heads into the international break. And again, all the players and coaches around the arena will take the knee. As they continue their support for the Black Lives Movement matter. And it'll be Robinson and Joyner to get us underway here in Nottingham. Bit of a dodgy throw by Retro Patrick Janner, but we are underway, and it'll be Chelsea Shumpert with an early 3 to get us underway. Off to the left, and Jasmine Joyner and Moa Lundquist both chased after it but unable to save it. Wildcats really struggled from 3 at last weekend against the Rebels, shooting 9 of 31. Chelsea Shumpert in particular, despite a hot start to season, really struggled. 5 of 19 from downtown. Again there, another early 3, and we'll see how Nottingham want to adapt from the struggles they had at the weekend against the Rebels, as Barking will have their first possession. Ball swinging, Leonard in the corner, 8 on the shot clock, looking to drive on Freeman. Decides to kick out 5. Beckford-Norton's going to drive on Shumpert, and Shumpert just a little bit late on the drive, commits the blocking foul, and Barking will have the ball from the sideline with a new 14 seconds. Ball's in, Leonard, Charles in the post, clicks out, Breen, consistent 3-point shooters we talked about, knocks her first down. Cassie Breen coming in, shooting nearly 70% of her shots are from the 3-point line. I know Nottingham had it in the scouting report, but a little bit late on the closeout. And Paige Robinson called for the hand in the back of Moa Lundqvist rather than the armbar. Veteran referee Roger Howson with the call, and an early foul for Paige Robinson. Wildcats get it in, looking for Joyner in the post, knocked loose on the inbound, and Kennedy Leddard will come away. Lions out quick in transition. Breen, another transition free, this time a little long, and the rebound is lost by Simone Costa on the baseline. And Barking this time having a baseline ball. And the inbound too successful. Wildcats struggled in recent weeks defending the out of bounds, and we see it yet again, and the Lions out to an early 5-0 lead. See if Wildcats can get the first ball, and Kennedy Leonard had called for the reaching foul. Looked like she got a bit of ball but also a bit of the elbow, and it will send Simone Costa to the line. Costa shooting around 60% on the season so far from 3-point line, and we'll head to line for 2. Does split the pair and finally get the Wildcats onto the board. Host trailing by 4 early on. Breen, handoff to Norton. Leonard now going to attack the switch off the second handoff, finds Charles in the corner. 3 is long, and Simone Costa will come away. Costa looking at Leonard in transition, drags her back foot on the Euro step layup and will be called for the travel. Turning it back over to Barking, and the second turnover already for the Wildcats. Lions looking for Robinson in the post, broken up by Joyner, but Barking retained possession through Norton. Breen opts against the 3. 6 on the clock. Robinson comes up, ball screen, switches by the Wildcats, but Joyner late on the switch, and Paige Robinson gets the easy roll to the hoop. Robinson returning, having spent her college career in Florida. Unable to stop Moa Lundqvist down low, and the Wildcats respond immediately. Leonard driving, forced on the baseline, kicks it out. Chantel Charles rejects the 3, kicks it out to Robinson in the short corner. Her jump shot doesn't go. Rebounded by Charles, finds a driving Breen, but a layup off to the right. And Wildcats will come down, and Shumpert this time in transition. Both teams looking here for the early 3, having limited success. Kick out finds Freeman, who is long, but Beckford Norton loses the ball off her foot, and Wildcats will gain possession here early. Both teams playing up tempo and happy to settle for transition baskets as the ball is retrieved from between the advertising boards here around the arena. And it will be Jasmine Joyner to inbound the ball for the hosts. Looks like she'll get it back on the post up, indeed she does, working on Charles. Up fake. Unable to get Charles in the air and unable to score, and Wildcats really struggling from the floor here early as Leonard drives in transition on Teal Freeman, gets the left-handed layup to go. And you heard Coach Kenrick Leybird talking about Barking being one of the best transition teams in the league. Wildcats already given up multiple good looks. And here Wildcats looking to go to the ball screen. Costa back against the ball screen, tries to feed it to Joyner, broken up by Charles. Another steal for the Lions, and Breen in transition, left wing 3 is short. Contested rebound collected by Beckford Norton. Out to Leonard as 10 seconds on the clock. Lions will look to go into a ball screen. Leonard driving on the switch, unable to make the layup, but Paige Robinson able to collect another offensive rebound and gets the simple layup. And Barking already into a 8-point lead as we are just 4 minutes in here. Freeman rejecting the screen, drives to the right. Joyner up fake, and this time does make the layup. Gets her first points of the afternoon. And we'll see what Barking can do in the half court as Shumpert is called for her second foul. Trying to get tight on Cassie Breen. And referee Patrick Janner calling for the blockers. Breen looked to come off the stagger screens, but that will be her second of the afternoon. And as he did in Essex, Coach Kenneth Leybird happy to keep him in, but it'll be something they'll have to look out for with the Wildcats being a little bit short in the rotation. Breen to Leonard, looking to redrive, trying to find Paige Robinson again in short corner, but turns it over. And Simone Costa will come away in transition. Euro step layup is good again. And as we've seen before, Simone Costa, one of the more aggressive guards in the league in transition, trying to get to the basket, had a little bit of success here getting to the foul line. And Barking again trying to throw it in. And that's the second or third time we've seen Paige Robinson fronted and Barking still trying to find the ball in to get their offense set, and Nottingham really early on the defensive end disrupting that action. We'll see if Lions keep looking for Robinson down low. Shumpert and Joyner again working the ball screen. Good defense by Norton. Shumpert just about saves the half court, but we've got 4 seconds left on the shot clock. Costa going to take the foul line pull up long. Joyner with the rebound blocked by Robinson. And Barking will come away with a 3-on-2. Leonard driving on Costa. Left-handed layup again is good. And again, Barking taking advantage of the transition opportunities. Joyner now working on Chantel Charles, the GB international. Gets really deep, and once you get in a foot in the paint, Joyner's tough to stop. And gets herself her second field goal of the afternoon, and the Wildcats back to within 4. Breen off the pin down. Foul line jump shot is good. Assist goes to Kennedy Leonard. Her third assist already of the ball game. Freeman driving off the ball screen, in on Breen. Layup is a little long. Ball, not quite sure what the call was. It looked like the ball before Freeman collected it was landed on the baseline. So Wildcats will fortunately retain possession, and we'll see the first sub of the afternoon both ways as Simone Costa is replaced by DJ Casanova, and for the Lions, Stephanie Umeya checking in to replace Paige Robinson. Inbound finds Lundqvist down low, but she throws it away. Barking 3-on-1. Leonard, easy pass to Beckford Norton, and yet again points off turnovers, producing simple, and Tia Freeman picks the ball up just inside the halfway line and throws it back to Chelsea Shumpert, who's unable to establish herself in the front court, and that'll be a backcourt violation for the Wildcats. Their 4th turnover already. Looks like Breen coming off staggers on the baseline. Second set of staggers for Breen. Again, hits the 3 and is fouled on the closeout by DJ Casanova. We'll see if the foul was after she landed or before. Looks like before, so will only be the 1 shot rather than sideline possession. But Barking again setting staggered screens for Cassie Breen. And having taken the foul line jumper last time, this time elected to take the second repeat set of screens back to the baseline and knock down her second triple of the afternoon, and has a chance to compete the 4-point play, which she does, taking her tally to 11 already for the American out of Central Michigan. Shumpert driving on, believe it was Norton, and rebound was knocked out of bounds. And Lions have a chance to extend this 12-point lead as we approach 3 minutes left to play in the first quarter. Charles skip past to Breen, hit 2, make that 3. Cassie Breen on fire here early. And the lead has ballooned to 15 points. Lundqvist kicks it out to Casanova, double teamed on the catch, and the young academy player will knock down the short corner jump shot. Breen driving left on Freeman, kicks it to Leonard in the corner, skip pass to Amaya, who travels working on Mer. Lundqvist trying to redrive. Stephanie Amaya out of Cornell College, her first year pro. Wildcats will get us back underway again. Simone Costa off the tee screen. Gonna drive the ball screen and is fouled by Charles on the drive, and will head to the line. I believe not sure if it was a blocking foul or on the arm, but Charles a little bit late on the rotation, and will send Simone Costa to line for her third and fourth free throws of the afternoon. And Paige Robinson will check in, replacing Charles. So the line's rotating the bigs early. Just a quick breather there for Paige Robinson. And she'll place Charles, who picked up her first foul of the afternoon. And again splits the free throws. So Simone Costa 2 of 4 from the line on the afternoon. Kenny Leonard receives the ball screen. Wildcat switch in transition. Leonard pulls up. A little long, but wide open shot for the GB guard. Lundqvist working on a mismatch of Beckford Norton down low, and gets the left-handed layup to go. Lundqvist spinning back to that left hand, something we don't see her do all too often, but cuts the lead back to 10 into the final 2 minutes here of the first quarter. Costa defending Breen. Ball screen. Wildcats are going to switch it again. This time guarded it better. Beckford Norton 4 on the shot clock. Going to drive on Joyner there on the help. And Wildcats will have the transition. Costa loses her footing, however. Has to slow it down a little bit. Schumpert working, blocked by Paige Robinson and trying to corral the rebound. Chelsea Schumpert knocks it out of bounds. And again, both teams unable to convert layups with bigs helping the rim. Sure, both coaches will be happy with the help side defense, getting their rim protectors affecting shots. And it'll be Breen again getting a staggered screen, knocks down the corner three yet again. Simone Costa this time a little bit late on the help, but Cassie Breen now 4 of 6 shooting the three. 17 points personal in the first quarter. As Joyner takes the step back on Robinson, the ball rolls around the rim twice and eventually goes. But threes for Barking proving to be more valuable than the two. This time Breen driving on Freeman. Lundqvist there with the help, but Breen through the contact takes it and converts on the layup. And Breen effective from inside and out so far. Already has the 3-point play. Joyner's going to settle for the 18-footer long, and rebound carried by Stephanie Umea, and we'll see if Barking push or hold for one shot. Leonard into Umea, and they decide to kick it out. They will use the final 10 seconds of the quarter. Leonard driving straight past the iced ball screen and unable to convert. Freeman 2 on the clock, 1. Leonard gets a hand on it, and the shot was after the buzzer, even if there was a little bit of contact. Tia Freeman unhappy with the ball, but it looked like the contact occurred after the quarter, and after a pulsating first quarter here in Nottingham that just took 60 minutes of real-time action. It is Nottingham 16, Barking Abbey London Lions 29. And welcome back to Nottingham 4 second quarter action. Highlight no doubt of the first quarter as Barking took a 13-point lead. Cassie Breen 19 points on 7 of 10 shooting. Kennedy Leonard also 4 points, 4 assists in the first quarter. Wildcats Jasmine Joyner leading all scores with 6 as we get underway in the second quarter. Wholesale changes for the Lions, which we'll get to as we are underway. Charles kicks it out to Breen, wide open again in the corner. Unable to connect on the corner 3. Mark Clark wanting a foul on Shumpert, but referee's not giving it, and Tia Freeman will go the other way. Transition 3 is good for Tia Freeman. Her first points of the contest, having gone 0 of 3 in the first quarter, and it'll be the youngster Ines Goranova getting the Barking set. Robinson drives, blocked by Shumpert, but gets her own rebound. Breen stuck in the corner, skips it to Charles. Charles going to drive on Freeman, who tries to knock the ball away, but gets a little bit the arm and will be called for the foul. Tia Freeman with the reach in there on. And as we talked about, Ines Goranova, one of the 2 subs. Also checking in for Mark Clark for the first time, the Austrian Valentina Klocker wearing number 25. Goranova, elbow jump shot off the pick and roll, knocks it down with ease. The youngster, first season in the WBBL, but already one of the brightest young players in the league, as Charles knocks away the entry pass looking for Joyner. However, can't quite keep hold of the ball, and Jasmine Joyner will have the inbound opportunity. See if they look for the post up here off the inbound. Indeed they do. Shumpert back in. Joyner working on Paige Robinson. Spins one way, back to the other, and Paige Robinson's left arm comes slightly out of the cylinder. Barking bench unhappy with the call, but it looked to me from here that Robinson just moved the arm slightly to the left out the cylinder and commits her second personal foul of the afternoon. Joyner joining the Wildcats free throw. Worries on the first attempt. That's Wildcats 0 of 3 on the first pair of the line. However, 3 of 3 on the second, and it will be Paige Robinson, having picked up that second foul, checking out, with Stephanie Umeya checking back in. The Lions lead still in double digits at 11. Goranova throws it away under pressure from Freeman. Shumpert with a transition, blocked by Klocker. Goranova did well, created a little bit of contact, slowing Shumpert up. And down the other end, Klocker, having got the block, driving in, tied up by Moa Lundqvist, who will be credited for the steal on the drive, as the possession arrow on the jump ball does point the Wildcats' way. And Mark Clark taking the opportunity to coach up his young point guard as Kennedy Leonard returns. Lundqvist skip pass to Shumpert, pull-up jumper is a little bit long. Simone Costa with the offensive rebound, blocked by Klocker. Joyner looked like she may have travelled, but shot either way is corralled by the Lions, and it'll be Charles pushing in transition, kicks it out to the corner. Cassie Breen knocks down her 5th triple of the afternoon, 5 of 8, 22 points. And Shumpert goes straight back the other end, tries to retaliate and can't. However, Joyner gets the offensive rebound, pulls it away from Kennedy Leonard, and the Wildcats struggling from the perimeter so far, unlike the Lions, but the inside play of Joyner and Lundqvist just about keeping them alive. Is still trailed by 12. Leonard this time left open on the wing, decides against the 3, kicks it out to Charles. Klocker in the high post, kicks it to Breen, wide open against the zone. Cassie Breen, 6 of 9. Joyner with enough offensive rebound. Leonard trying to block Chelsea Shumpert. Referee Roger Harrison unhappy with the comments, says Leonard got the arm as well as the ball. And it will send the Wildcats back to the line for their 7th and 8th free throws. And Kendi Leonard will check out. That was her second personal. But former Barking Academy player Shanice Beckford-Norton will replace her. Beckford-Norton coming back, having spent some time abroad at LSU. Also played a little bit last season in the German WBBL. And after the free throws, coach Kenrick Leybird will use a timeout, his first of the afternoon. Wildcats trailing by 14 with 7:19 to go here in quarter number 2. Wait for and welcome back to Nottingham, where really this is the Cassie Breen show. 25 points on 9 of 13, 6 of 9 from shooting, already from downtown. As I just alluded to before the break, one Shanice Norton coming from Germany. Beckford-Norton, Leonard and Cassie Breen all faced each other last year in the German top league. Breen for Freiburg, who finished in the top 4 of the league. Shot 39% from 3 last year. 39% also in college for Central Michigan, so she knows she can shoot it. So Coach Kenrick Leybird in that timeout, no doubt talking about how she's allowed to get 9 threes off so far. And we'll see if Barking can extend this 14-point lead. Beckford-Norton doesn't shoot many long jumpers, but this time just inside the 3-point line, knocks it down over Schumpert. Her second field goal of the afternoon extends the lead to 16, and 39 points already on the board for Lions. Schumpert nowhere to go. Joyner double team, kicks it out. Casanova's free is blocked by Chantal Charles on the rotation, and we'll see what happens as the Lions push. Clocker long 2, air ball long. Rebound picked up by Breen, caught on the baseline and under pressure from Simone Costa, throws it away. Sorry, travels. Looking for the kick out, just shuffled her feet. And a rare stop for the Wildcats. Coach Kenrick Leybird alluded to in the pre-game interview, wasn't happy with the defence at Essex last week, giving up 48 in the first half. We're on pace to give up 60 today. As Letitia Willis into the game for the first time for the Wildcats. Finds Schumpert driving on Norton, kicks it out. Casanova decides against the 3. Pull-up jumper, it's no good, but Joyner, contested offensive rebound, misses her putback. Willis also misses hers, gets a second offensive rebound. So 3 on the possession for the Wildcats, and in the process is called for the foul. Not quite sure who the foul was on. We'll have to see when the stats update. Unfortunately missed the referee's signal. Potentially on Stephanie Umeya, but we will see. And it'll be Joyner to inbound it. Wildcats again going to the same set, looking for the post up. Joyner working on Umeya. Layup is good. Second time we've seen Jasmine Joyner get the hometown roll. And again, Wildcats inserting their dominance inside. Beckford-Norton, 12 on the shot clock, hands it off. Trying to find Breen on the handoff, disrupted by Costa, but Breen comes up with it. 5 on the shot clock. kicks it to Beckford Norton. Beckford Norton going to drive through the chest of Chelsea Shumpert, and it is called for the offensive foul. And Mark Clark will use a timeout with the Lions up by 14. Welcome back to Nottingham. Just a bit of a tidy up from that last passage of play. The foul, the defensive foul, was on Clocker, who checked out after the foul. That foul was Barking's fourth, as you can see. Nottingham Wildcats are in the bonus for the last 5:30 of this second quarter, trailing by 14. Barking also getting their juniors a little bit more action, as checking in for the first time this afternoon, Nikola Kuzmanovic, wearing 0. She will guard one of the Wildcats Academy players, DJ Casanova. Casanova looked like she was going to be doubled by Norton for a minute. Skip pass to Costa in the corner. Costa drives, 15-foot pull-up is long. Joyner, another offensive rebound, working inside on Kumanovic, lays it up, and the Wildcats really staying alive with second chance points. Jasmine Joyner has 6 offensive rebound of the contest, up to 13 points personal. Beckford Norton on the screen, gets the switch, drives it on Shumpert and Joyner. Letitia Willis just about pulls down the rebound. Cassie Breen steals it, falls on it, and we will see, I believe, a jump ball is the call, which will retain possession for the Lions. And despite having 2 fouls, Kennedy Leonard will check back into the game for Mark Clark, replacing Stephanie Umea. So Leonard, as we said, strong first quarter with the 4 assists, and also checking back in, having picked up a second personal early in the quarter. Paige Robinson will replace Kumanovic. See what Barking can do from the end line. 14 on shot clock. Charles and Leonard, 2-man game. Charles driving, dishes to Robinson, blocked by Joyner, and Chelsea Shumpert will just about save it into the hands of Letitia Willis. And the Wildcats guard pushing in transition, driving on Norton, blocked by Beckford Norton. Both teams doing a great job protecting the rim this afternoon. See what can do. Shumpert, 10 on the clocks. See if she gets a late ball screen. In fact, it's going to go isolation on Norton. Shumpert, long 3 is good. Her first of the afternoon. Chelsea Shumpert was 0 of 8 from the floor. Real struggle early on for the American. And Simone Costa, again, Barking going to the 2 Saga screen sets for Cassie Breen. And this time, Simone Costa just wrapped her arm around Cassie Breen and will be called for her personal foul. It is the first on Costa this afternoon. Second team foul for the Wildcats, who are all of a sudden back within 9. Leonard gets the ball screen off Charles. Casanova fights over the top. Good defense. Wildcats sitching the second screen. Beckford Norton, foul line jump shot is short. Chelsea Shumpert with another defensive rebound for the Wildcats, and will slow it up, looking for Joyner in the post. Robinson gets a hand on the ball, but Joyner retains possession, going for the hook shot. and on the hook shot is fouled by Paige Robinson. That will be her third personal foul. Robinson just coming underneath Joyner and using her body to push the Wildcats player off her spot. And both teams going back to their benches. Robinson, unsurprisingly, going to the bench with her third personal. And Tia Freeman checking back in for the hosts. Jasmine Joyner coming in, averaging 13.8 points, 9 rebounds a game in the league. Already up to 13 and 8 this afternoon. And yet another Wildcats player to split her free throws. That is 5 of 10 for the afternoon for the hosts, who are back within 8. Beckford Norton. Breen off the pin down is fouled by Simone Costa. We'll see if her foot was on the line or not. Indeed it was, so Breen will head to line for 2. Instead of 3, but a chance to extend her personal tally. Cassie Breen, 26 points, the exact same amount she had in the first half in the opening league game for the Lions against the Newcastle Eagles back in December. Converts them both. So Barking still perfect from the line this afternoon. See if the Wildcats can again get this down to a single-digit lead. Schumpert driving on Beckford Norton, great defence. Schumpert forced baseline and is forced out of bounds. Beckford Norton known for her defence as she was coming through the junior ranks, and has done a great job on Chelsea Schumpert so far this afternoon. As Leonard will get the Barking offence underway. Beckford Norton, our apologies. View just blocked there a little bit by the referee. Driving on Chelsea Schumpert, and that will be Chelsea Schumpert's third personal foul of the afternoon as well. And we'll see what coach Kenrick Leybird does here. He will indeed pull out his American guard, and Wildcats going with a really big lineup. Mora Lundqvist checking in, so we've got Joyner, Willis, Lundqvist all on the floor for Wildcats. And we'll see if that causes a change of defence as well, or if Wildcats try and match up as Beckford Norton misses the first free throw. A great free throw shooter, normally shot 92% last year in Germany, 83% in her senior year at LSU. Does make the second, and with 3 minutes to go, Lions lead by 11. Wildcats into a horn set. Looks like Leonard is guarding Mora Lundqvist at the moment. Will be Lundqvist that drives the hole, but Joyner left open on the catch. Driving layup is no good. Leonard comes away with it, and Barking have a chance to run. Breen misses the wide open Clocker underneath. And Beckford Norton will get the half-court offense underway. Leonard driving past Freeman. Willis comes to help. Leonard, 6 on the clock, finds a cutting Valentine Clocker, and again Barking finding ways to score in the half court in the paint as Costa misses the layup. Joyner, another offensive rebound, knocks it down again, but Lions not going to worry about the score, going to push again themselves. Leonard driving on jump. Joyner pops it inside to Clocker, and she makes the layup. Barking yet again finding transition points to keep the scoreboard ticking up. And the lead still at 13. Willis can't get inside to join. It's going to drive round Clocker and is fouled. And clearly upset with herself there. Knows she reached and put Willis in a tough spot to make a contested reverse layup, and instead sent her to line 4-2. And the youngster is the first to break the Wildcat streak of missing the first free throw. And indeed knocks them both down. Lead to 11 with 100 seconds left in the first half. Beckford Norton driving. Costa cuts off the angle. Chantel Charles nowhere to go after Beckford Norton finds Leonard, 10 on the clock. Charles in the post, going to work on Freeman. Clocker working the circle rule to perfection. Left wide open as Joyner got caught looking at the drive, and Valentine Clocker with 4 quick points to bring her tally to 6. Simone Costa driving, kicks it to Letitia Willis. 3 is long. Beckford Norton with the rebound is going to push in transition. No one stops the ball, but Beckford Norton blocked by Lundqvist at the rim. But with 19 on the shot clock, the Lions will retain possession. Says only the 3rd block of the afternoon from the Wildcats. Feels like there's been 1 or 2 more. Lions themselves with 5 blocks on this afternoon. We'll see what they do. Beckford Norton driving on Costa is fouled. Similar situation to what we had at the other end. This time with the body rather than the reaching, and Shanice Beckford Norton will head back to the line for the 2nd time this afternoon. With 48 seconds to go, it looks like both teams, if they can, will protect some players on fouls. It looks like Kendi Leonard will check out after this free throw if Shanice Beckford Norton can make it, which she does. So Leonard on 2 fouls, protected by Mark Clark with a 14-point lead for the Wildcats. Willis and Costa coming out. Simone Costa picked up her 3rd personal in that action, so she checks out, and it'll be Maisie Everson who is into the game. But Nikola Kuzmanovic, one of Mark Clark's subs there, try and protect Henry Leonard, committed the foul on Tia Freeman in the back court, and with the Lions in the penalty, Freeman going to the line will get Kenny Leonard back into the game. Another coaching opportunity for Mark Clark and one of his young guards in the Barking system. Freeman made them both down to 12. Leonard driving, rejected by Joyner, manages to save the ball. And Everson will get the Wildcats underway. Freeman can't find a cutting Lundqvist, will drive it inside herself, taken away, and with Lions this time will take it to run. Cassie Breen, 1 dribble out to the 3-point line. In fact, toes the line this time. So it's twice we've seen Barking players toe the line. But nonetheless, Cassie Breen's electric first half continues. And the Wildcats will have a chance for the final shot. 7 seconds. Casanova throws the ball away. Freeman unable to get back, cuts off Kennedy Leonard, and Kennedy Leonard will convert the transition layup on the buzzer. And just as the Lions offense had slowed slightly in the middle part of the first half, the last few minutes, a run of nothing but points yet again for the Lions, and suddenly the lead up to 16. Half-time here in Nottingham. Wildcats 37, Lions 53. Before we go to break, we will just have a quick recap of the first half stats for you. Jasmine Joyner, 16 points, 9 rebounds, having played all 20 minutes of the first half for the Wildcats. But really, no one else contributing on the offensive end. Next leading scorer for the host, Tia Freeman, just with the 5 points. And Chelsea Shumpert really struggling in the first half, 1 of 10 shooting for the guard that averages 22 points a game. Does have 4 assists, but really the Barking backcourt outplaying the Wildcats backcourt. No part in due to Shanice Beckford-Norton on the defensive end. And of course the offense star of the show, Cassie Breen, 30 points personal in the first half, 10 of 14 shooting, 7 of 10 from 3. And a couple of times she's towed the line. Valentine Clocker, Shanice Beckford-Norton and Kennedy Lend all also on 6 points and having given up 48 points in the first half. At Essex at the weekend, Kenrick Leybird wanted more and instead has seen the side give up 53, and the Wildcats will have a lot to do in the second half, which we will join you for in about 10 minutes time. welcome back to Nottingham. Nottingham Wildcats 37, Barking London Lions 53 at the half. Small stats correction at the half. Cassie Breen only with 29 points instead of 30. But I'm not sure anyone on the Lions side is going to be arguing with that. The former Central Michigan collegiate athlete continue where she left off in the WBBL Championship, having had 26 first half points against Newcastle in the Lions' only league game before this. On 6 of 9 from downtown, and another one where she towed the line. And all we can tell you at half time that Wildcats were in their team huddle for a very long time. Coach Leybird in there for nearly 10 minutes, and from the other side of the arena you could hear his disappointment, and even now not many instructions happening from the Wildcats sideline, and so he got all of them in early, and we'll see what type of response Nottingham can come up with in this second half. Lions, of course, only their second league game, having beaten the Eagles before Christmas, 3-1 in all comps prior to today, having beaten the Essex Rebels in the WBBL trophy last Wednesday. And Mark Clark's new team certainly look a high scoring outfit with multiple weapons on the offensive end. Just a few other first half highlights for you. Wildcats with 13 offensive rebounds and 11 second chance points. 7 of those pulled in by Jasmine Joyner, who's already just 1 rebound short of a double-double. And as for Barking, despite the lack of size, really protected the rim well. The Lions 5 blocks, Chantel Charles with 3 of them. And despite not scoring, Chantel Charles doing a lot on both ends of the floor. 4 assists as well for the GB International, as Tia Freeman will get us underway in the second half. Wildcats trailing by 16. We'll see what response they can have. Shumper off the flare screen, unable to get a shot. Beckford Norton goes under the screen from Joyner, gives Shumper the look, but she cannot connect, and her shooting struggles continue. Leonard skip past to Beckford Norton, 18-foot jumper is long, and Paige Robinson contesting the rebound forces Simone Costa to lose the handle, and the Lions will work the out of bounds play from the baseline. Breen hands it to Leonard. Charles and Norton now into a 2-man game on the opposite side of the floor. Beckford Norton, 5 on the clock, still nowhere to go. Skip past to Breen, Joyner guarding her, kicks it. Charles doesn't take many threes, has to force this one up, and slightly off to the right for Chantel Charles. And Wildcats get an early stop, and we'll see if they can get some more post touches, which you know they did have some success in the first half. Instead it's Costa driving on Breen, Kate's the contact and will head to the line with a chance to complete a 3-point play. Simone Costa, aggressive early in the first half, has a chance to extend her personal tally, having head to the line for the 3rd time this afternoon. But her free throw struggles continue, and the lead stays at 14. Costa, one of 2 Wildcats players who do have the 3 fouls in the first half, the other being Chelsea Shumper. And Beckford Norton driving in on Shumper, and looks like presumably Joyner will be called for the reach-in. Referee Roger Howson calling from the baseline, so we can't quite clarify that foul for you just yet, but we will do so where we can. Beckford Norton 2 of 4 from the line, but as mentioned in the first half, normally a highly reliable 3-point shooter, 82.6% in her senior year at LSU. This time makes them both to extend her personal tally to 8, and the Lions lead back up to 16. Costa finds Lundqvist in the high post, high-low for Wildcats to perfection, finds Joyner for the wide open layup, We've seen the high-low in previous games from the Wildcats, not really today. And Leonard throws it away, looking for the roll on Paige Robinson. Lundqvist skips it to Costa. Joyner working on Charles in the post, going to take it into the middle, take it all the way to the other side of the rim, and Jasmine Joyner is having herself an afternoon, just like Cassie Breen. Now 20 points personal for the Wildcats, third-year American out of Tennessee, Chattanooga. Leonard flares to the corner from the pin-down screen, a little bit long. A rare wide-open miss from Kennedy Leonard. Sees the Wildcats get another stop, and all of a sudden they will have a chance to get this perhaps to a single-digit game once again. We saw it in the first half before Barking had the last run in the 3 minutes to extend the lead. Shumpert double screen it. This time it'll be Joyner to pop. Joyner airballs the three, and Tia Freeman was working the baseline, unable to get her feet in bounds before she touched the ball, and back-to-back air balls for both teams from three, but looks that we know both players can make. Candy Leonard unable to get the ball to either Robinson or Breen. The first two options finds Charles in the high post. Charles driving on Costa, deflected away, and Paige Robinson is fouled by Lundqvist on the arm. Moa Lundqvist's first personal of the afternoon. Part of the reason Wildcats struggled at Essex was foul trouble. Lundqvist, one of the Wildcats players who did foul out, but not really had foul problems this afternoon, as Paige Robinson heads to the line. Unable to connect with them both, and Wildcats just about come away with the rebound. Joyner knocked to the floor. Looks like she may have caught a bit of an arm to the face, but Wildcats will attack anyway. Shumpert skips to Costa. Freeman is fouled by Paige Robinson. Good up fake there by the GB under-20 guard. Gets Robinson biting on the fake, and with 7:13 to go in the third quarter, Paige Robinson will have to sit down. That is a fourth personal foul of the afternoon in just under 14 minutes of action, as Stephanie Umea will check in for Mark Clark. Wildcats again looking for this out of bounds set, trying to get a post touch for Joyner, see if they go back to it here. Instead find Costa, 8 on the shot clock. Joyner with the screen. Costa finds the rolling Joyner underneath, double teamed, but it doesn't matter over Breen and Leonard. Joyner still has the height advantage and is able to convert once again. Lead down to 10. Leonard to Beckford Norton, driving on the baseline, trying to find Umea. Instead the ball goes all the way to Breen on the weak side. Three is missed, but Breen offensive rebounds, her own miss, and Umea unable to convert the second chance opportunity for the Lions. And it will be Moa Lundqvist's second personal foul, as Mark Clark exploding at his bench. There was a warning for the Barking bench in the first half for arguing calls, and Mark Clark just apologising there to referee for the bench and going ballistic. Doesn't want an unnecessary technical foul picked up. And Kennedy Leonard will get us back underway again. Charles blocked by Joyner. Lundqvist dives on the floor to save the ball, keep possession alive. Great play by two Wildcats. Big have a chance to push in transition, but Leonard sees the pass. And as Norton tried to split the double team, Chelsea Shumpert just sliding to her left a little bit too late and called for the blocking foul, and that will be her fourth personal foul. And with the Barking offense struggling, just the 2 points so far in the third quarter, Coach Mark Clark will use a timeout with the Lions still leading by 10. Welcome back to Nottingham. That was also Wildcats' fourth team foul, so Barking will be shooting for the last 6 minutes of the second half. Leonard drives on Simone Costa. Barking again using the misdirection, trying to set things up for Cassie Breen, and this time managed to take an advantage of it as Kendi Leonard drived to her left hand and converted the layup. Little bit quiet afternoon scoring for the former Colorado player, but also contributing with 6 assists. DJ Casanova in for Shumpert, travels under pressure by Beckford Norton, and a lot has got to be said for the pressure Shanice Beckford Norton has put on the Wildcats backcourt today. Has really blown a lot of the Wildcats actions up and done a great job staying in front of Chelsea Shumpert one-on-one. Again, Barking using screens, Breen on the floor, so Beckford Norton has nowhere to go, tries to kick it out to Leonard, but a little bit too much on the pass, and Barking with a rare turnover, only the 9th of the afternoon so far. Wildcats again looking for the high lows, this time joining to Lundqvist, left-handed layup, rolls off the rim, and Beckford Norton will push in transition. Charles can't find Ume, who was temporarily there underneath, and DJ Casanova fronting Ume on the pass. Charles just a little bit short on it, and Cassie Breen will take it out of bounds, so let's see if Barking look for an action offer off the inbound. Here she comes, staggered screens, Coles to the foul line, almost temporarily double team, finds a pass to Charles, who's open. Good ball movement by Lions. Leonard driving. Charles pops straight away. 3 is good, and a terrific offensive sequence by Barking, having not scored in 4 minutes. Gets the scoreboard ticking over once again, and the lead is up to 15. Costa driving, helped by Beckford Norton, and Costa unable to make the skip pass. Leonard picks it away, trying to find transition, and Wildcats will eventually come up with it. Both teams have been sloppy in times in transition this afternoon and unable to convert a high efficiency rate in transition. A change for Barking. Chantel Charles comes out, replaced by Valentine Clocker. Shocked that down to 10. Umea strips Tia Freeman. Casanova unable to get back in time, and Umea will easily lay it home. And the lead, the highest it's ever been, 17. We'd seen 16 twice, but Lions now up by 17 as Joyner goes to work in the post, falls over, trying to find Costa at the top. Both Costa and Breen dive on the ball, and with the possession arrow pointing the way of the Lions, it will be a Wildcats turnover. And down 17, Coach Kenrick Leybird doesn't think he can get through without his American guard Chelsea Shumpert. So with 14 minutes to go and on 4 personal fouls, Nottingham going to roll the dice here, put Shumpert back in the game. Skip pass, Beckford Norton driving baseline, reverse layup a little short. Mo Lundqvist with the rebound, and the foul is on number 25. That is Clocker, her 3rd personal foul. Also the Lions' 3rd team foul of the quarter. And Mo Lundqvist will also take a quick break for the Wildcats with Letitia Willis checking in. Willis 2 points, 3 rebounds already this afternoon. Shumpert deep 3 off to the left. Another air ball, and in the process saving the ball, Simone Costa steps on the baseline first and unable to save it. And Shumpert's struggles really continue, 1 of 12 on the afternoon. Kendi Leonard get the Barking half-court offense in. Beckford Norton off the stagger screen. Cut off by Costa, nowhere to go. Now going to work on Costa in the post. Can't step through and goes through the chest of Simone Costa. Simone Costa, great job of stepping in front and picks up her 2nd offensive foul of the afternoon. Can't remember if it was Shumpert or Costa that took the charge early on in the first half, but 2nd one connected by Beckford Norton. However, good defense on the defensive end means she does not have to worry about foul trouble yet. Costa found underneath by Casanova and is called for the hooking foul on Cassie Breen. Costa trying to get all the way to the other side of the rim. Looked like, in fact, referee said she grabbed her arm on the way through, and Wildcats foul problems mount up because that is Simone Costa's 4th, and we will see what they do. They will indeed replace her as Tia Freeman checks in. And as for the Lions, Beckford Norton will take a break, and we'll see the return of Ines Goranova back into the game. The youngster who knocked down the elbow jumper early on in the first half. Leonard finds Breen under pressure by Joyner. Joyner knocks out of her hands and on the way through catches Cassie Breen. So good defense by Joyner to force the turnover. But Wildcats are going to need more offense on this end of the floor if they're to get back into the game, trailing by 17. And the foul looked like it was going to be called on Kennedy Leonard underneath, trying to get position on Joyner. However, before that, Chelsea Shumpert forced into the double dribble as Leonard was fighting to deny the Wildcats big inside. Casanova and Goranova going at it. Chantal Strauss driving in, layup round, Tia Freeman to go. Chantal Charles completing her all-around game as Shumpert drives in on Leonard. Forced to take the tough layup, can't get it to go. And Leonard will come away with it. Gets the screen, Umea driving baseline, looking for the tough jumper. Looked like she was behind the backboard almost, nearly made it. Shumpert pulls up in transition, leaves it to left, but somehow out of nowhere gets her own rebound and finds Tia Freeman in the corner. Freeman inside to Joyner, is fouled. Clocker brings her arms down, catches Jasmine Joyner on the arm, and Joyner, who's been a little quiet in the last couple of minutes, still on a monster afternoon. 22 points, 9 rebounds, 3 blocks. And Joyner makes them both from the line, deflects the inbound away. So Wildcats try and put a little bit of pressure on the Barking Abbey young guard. Clocker sets the screen to get a 3. Finds Umea on the left elbow. Cassie Breen being quiet in the second half. Finds Leonard. Breen stopping behind the handoff, knocks it down, and we were just saying she's quiet, but there she is again. 7th 3 of the afternoon. Wildcats responding in transition. Shumpert long lob pass to Joyner, and Jasmine Joyner able to improve on her tally. The two Americans really going at each other. Going over, breaks the trap, throws it to Freeman. Wildcats have a chance to go. Shumpert to Joyner again, and all of a sudden 20 is down to 16, and Wildcats sense an opportunity to try and change the tide with a bit of full court pressure. Casanova knocks the ball loose from Goranova. She keeps it. Now Barking 4-on-1 at Leonard. Clocker misses the layup. Rebound Shumpert. Wildcats now 3-on-2. See where Chelsea Shumpert goes. Goranova with the hands. And Shumpert effectively catches her own pass, and that is a travel violation. And after entering action, we come up with absolutely nothing for both teams, and with 45 seconds to go, we'll see some subs to close the quarter as Jasmine Joyner takes her first break of the afternoon, replaced by Moa Lundqvist. And Clocker will come out for Barking. Goranova driving, left-handed layup is good. And Barking's lead up to 18 once again. Lions winning the quarter by 2 points as we approach the final 20 seconds. Freeman nowhere to go, and as she tries to pivot back to the middle, Stephanie Umea there just a little late, and she will send Tia Freeman to the line with both teams in the penalty. Freeman coming in averaging 9.5 points a game in league competition, just over 20 minutes. Obviously a little bit of an increased role today for the Wildcats with the absence of Siobhan Pratt amongst others. And Freeman makes 1 of 2. Charles with the rebound, and Barking will have a chance to hold for the last shot. 12 on the shot clock. Kennedy Leonard running the ball. Cassie Breen comes off the double screen, is making another play. Moa Lundqvist with the blocking foul. Breen falling to the floor, gets the ball in the air, kisses off the window, and has a chance to go to line for a bonus. Barking electing not to go for the final shot, perhaps catching the Wildcats off guard. And Cassie Breen continues to have herself an afternoon as she makes the free throw. 35 points. And Wildcats with 6 seconds, 3-on-3. Tia Freeman, does she see she's double teamed? Drives into Goranova, nowhere to go. And yet another good defensive play by the Lions youngster. And at the end of 3 quarters, you don't see many ways back for the host. They trail 52-72 with 10 minutes left to go. goal. Welcome back to Nottingham. Nottingham Wildcats 52, Barking London Lions 72. Really, the story of the game is about Cassie Breen and Jasmine Joyner, both individuals having a tremendous impact on this game. Cassie Breen 35 points, Jasmine Joyner 28 for the Wildcats. But maybe the most pressing stat, no offensive rebounds and no rebounds at all for Joyner in the third quarter. As Wildcats get us underway, Simone Costa working on Breen. Fakes middle, drives to left, Breen reaches in and will send Simone Costa to the line. Simone Costa has had a bit of a tough night from the line. She's 2 of 5 on the day. And as for Cassie Breen, it's her second personal foul. Also mentioned she's doing a lot other things. Having picked up 3 steals, 4 rebounds as well for the Lions. And is second on the team with a plus 20 plus minus. In fact, Breen hasn't checked out the game yet. That's how good she's been, as Costa misses them both. And Lions will come up with the rebound. Kennedy Leonard, 2-on-1 down court. Leonard sees Umeya in the paint. Turnaround over the shoulder, back to her left hand is good. And the former Cornell graduate knocks her 5th and 6th points down of the afternoon. Shumpert step back, 18-footer is long, but Jasmine Joyner just said she hadn't got a rebound. There's her 10th of the afternoon, and she's able to convert the putback for the Wildcats. Chantel Charles along with the 3. And Jasmine Joyner again with a rebound. Wildcats will push. Costa tries to find Lundqvist, but too much on it. And Goranova will come up with it, 2-on-1. Goranova and Breen, but Freeman gets back into play. But a lovely secondary transition from the Lions. Charles to Umeya, and yet more transition points for the Lions. Extends this lead to a game high 22. As Umeya now making an impact on the defense there, knocks the ball away from Jasmine Joyner. Remind that both teams have 2 players each on 4 fouls. Robinson and Clocker for the Lions, Shumpert and Costa for the Wildcats. Goranova nearly steals the inbound pass, but frees up Shumpert. Her 3 is off. Simone Costa with the rebound, feeds Shumpert again. This time, 1 dribble pull-up is good, and Chelsea Shumpert finally makes 1 to go. 2 of 16 on the day. Umeya working on Lundqvist, reverse layup along, and Tia Freeman will complete the stop for the Wildcats, but down 20, they need success at both ends of the court. Shumpert working now on Kennedy Leonard, going to her right hand, step back. Leonard defends it, and as Shumpert tries to step through, apparently moved both pivot feet, and referee Patrick Janner calls her for the travel. And Ines Goranova will get the Barking half-court offense and go. Here we go again. Breen on the staggers. This time played tight. Cole leaves the layup short. Got a little bit of contact by Freeman. Tries to find Shumpert on the outlet. Goranova with the steal. 3-on-2 for Lions if they want it. Goranova floats up the layup. Can't get it to go. And Jasmine Joyner will come down with the rebound. Lundqvist driving into traffic, turns it over, and Barking with a 5-on-2 here. Robinson receives the pass and lays it in, and coach Kenrick Leybird will use a timeout. This has been a dominant performance by the Barking Abbey London Lions today. Yet again, their lead is up to 22, and they will be heading into the international break by the looks of it full of confidence. So obviously, after this weekend, WBBL will take a small hiatus with the international window, and Nottingham are coming back to a double header on the road to the Manchester Mystics on Saturday the 13th of February, and then they'll be back here at the Wildcats Arena hosting the Caledonia Pride tip currently scheduled for 5:30 on the Sunday, but keep on top of the Wildcats socials for that, as that may change depending on other schedules, with the Wildcats now hosting 4 teams here due to COVID implications: the Nottingham Hoods, Derby Trailblazers and Bradford Dragons, all using Wildcats as their home venue for the considerable future. So a tough doubleheader to hit the international break for Nottingham. Barking will come back and play a midweek fixture at the Oaklands Wolves in the league before heading back into the East Midlands, where they'll host the Leicester Riders on the travel to Leicester Riders on the 13th of February, which looks the way it's going. Another top 3 matchup. Having said that, that game is subject to moving because, of course, Leicester Riders will have the rearranged WBBL Cup final on Friday the 12th of February, coming out of the international break. That game to be played in Manchester at the National Performance Centre. But meanwhile, we are back underway in Nottingham. Wildcats down by 22. Freeman looking for the pick and roll with Joyner. Picked off by Charles. Lions out and running again. Leonard fakes dribbling out, then cuts back to the hoop. Simone Costa puts 2 hands on Leonard and she will be done. Simone Costa fouls out for the hosts. A little bit of a quiet afternoon offensively for the guards. 6 points, 2 assists, but 6 turnovers for the Portuguese native. And it says what a good job the Lions. And one player fouls out, leads to a second. On the drive, Paige Robinson fouled out. And referee Roger Harrison calling an elbow. Paige Robinson is done and arguing the call with the referee, picks up a technical that will go on the bench. So Wildcats to line for 1 shot. And Mark Clark unhappy with one of his former junior players for continuing to talk. And Chelsea Shumpert heads to line for the technical free throw, will make it, and it will be Stephanie Umeya who checks in for Paige Robinson. Robinson done for the afternoon in 15 minutes. 6 points, 4 rebounds for the former GB junior team player. First year back in WBBL, having completed a college career in Florida, as Moa Lundqvist and Tia Freeman unable to connect. And ever so quietly, perhaps something I missed, Wildcats turnovers have also creeped up, now up to 24 on the afternoon. Barking have scored 25 points from those turnovers, and really Wildcats, you can say, and perhaps lucky not to have conceded more, with Barking missing some transition opportunities. Leonard gets it back from Charles, the give and go, unable to connect on the 3. Freeman dribbles into 3 players and Chantel Charles ties her up and will be credited for yet another steal. I believe that'll be her first steal of the afternoon, but the 16th for the Lions. Charles also with 5 rebounds, 5 assists. Goranova sees the handoff, picks it back out to Charles, long 2 off, and Jasmine Joyner, yet another rebound. The league's leading rebounder this year will bump her averages, no doubt, as Shumpert drives to the hole, and Leonard unable to get there in time, having to also worry about Joyner. Goranova skips through 3 players, finds Umeya, elbow jump shot is off. This time knocks the rebound loose from Joyner, and almost strangely, Cassie Breen turns down the 3, runs a little bit of clock. Leonard pick and roll, drives to the hole and knocks it down. Kennedy Leonard, second Barking player into double digits this afternoon. 10 points, 10 assists, double-double for Leonard. as Freeman is open from the skip pass from Shumpert is long. Joyner knocked to the floor by Leonard. Unhappy with Patrick Janet, looks like, as Breen nearly knocks down the three. Going over, offensive rebound. And yet another play by the Barking youngster. She's made a real impact in the second half. Shumpert throws it into Joyner in the post, passes off, and Jasmine Joyner asking for a sub. As Barking again going transition, going over as layup, no good, contested by Lundqvist. And Wildcats turn to run 3-on-3, see what Shumpert does. Step back to her right is off. Lundqvist inside, offensive rebound. She misses, and this game's really got scrappy the last couple of minutes. And Kennedy Lennon, recognising that, will slow it down. Former GB under-20, second pro year, having come out of the University of Colorado after 4 great years in the Pac-12. Her elbow jumper is no good, and flying in for the rebound was Stephanie Mayer. Catches Tia Freeman on the arm. And Wildcats will retain possession. Jasmine Joyner indeed does take a break. And for the first time this afternoon, Wildcats using Chloe Gaynor. Freeman left wing, up fake on the three, and that will be a 24-second violation. Feels a little bit short to me, and we'll see. The Wildcats coaching staff are asking about it, and the referee will check with the table. Meanwhile, for Barking up 23, will give some more experience to some of the younger players. Nicole Lavinia checking into the game for the first time. Mark Clark recently as well got back in. Nikola Kudmanovic into the game, so both teams going to use some of their junior players down the stretch with this game looking like it's done. Lions up 23 with 4.5 to go, as the referee and the table still discuss what's going on. And indeed, the collaboration will be that perhaps the shot clock was wasn't reset at all. So Wildcats are going to have 17 seconds left on the shot clock, and DJ Casanova will inbound the ball for the hosts. Shumpert working the pick and roll with Gaynor. Barking switch it, but Nottingham choosing not to attack it. Instead it's Lundqvist working in down low on Charles, and there looks like catching of the arm, I believe Kennedy Leonard, but again couldn't quite see the foul as Leonard doubled down on Lundqvist, and it'll be the Lions' 4th team foul. So now in the penalty, Casanova to Gaynor, and the 10-foot jump shot is in. Chloe Gaynor, immediate impact off the bench for the hosts. Breen, Leonard, Lions again working multiple screens on the baseline. Leonard trips it off to Breen, and on the floor she is fouled by Freeman. And Cassie Breen is coming out of the game. First break all afternoon, and I imagine she'll be done. If she is, it's 35 points, 4 rebounds, 3 steals. And no doubt, if there was a Player of the Week award, even though we've got 3 games left, it would be done. Leonard for the 3 behind the screen, unable to get it to go. And Chloe Gaynor pulls down the defensive board. Lundqvist, post up, no good. And Lions will come up with it. Lions have done a much better job in the second half of cleaning up the offensive glass. It's a struggle in the first half, but sure, it was talked about half time, and Lions continue to improve on that. Reminder, this is only the 5th game of the season. Wildcats working a weave. Leonard 4 on the shot clock, finds Kumanovic. Up fake, driving in on Casanova. Layup just goes, but a strong move again from another Barking Academy player. Freeman to Gaynor. And she'll hand it off to Shumpert to go into pick and roll. Shumpert, little push off maybe on Beckford Norton, referee doesn't call it, and Chelsea Shumpert will finally get ourselves into double digits. Now 11 points, 6 rebounds, 5 assists. But it has been a struggle all afternoon. Wildcats trying to drop the ball screen. Kramanovic finds the option, and on the extra pass from Chantel Charles, Kennedy Leonard drives in, uncontested layup, and the lead back into the 20s as Freeman drives and blocked by Lavinia. And with 2:37 to go, Kenrick Leybird will call timeout, and we'll take a quick break with 2:37 left. Welcome back to Nottingham, where we've got 2.5 minutes left. Lions dominant all day today. Jumped out to a early lead and they've never looked back. Currently on course to win all 4 quarters here in what many were considering a top 4 battle going into the game. But really dominant, and really it's the guard play of the Lions that stands out. We've mentioned Cassie Breen, but Kennedy Leonard now up to 12 points, 10 assists, 5 steals herself. Shanice Beckford Norton, 8 points, 5 rebounds, 4 assists, and terrific defense all afternoon long. And you can only say the Lions look like they're going to be able to challenge for the WBBL Championship. We'll see what happens as the play gets underway. As Wildcats find Joyner on the inbound pass, and Chantel Charles going for yet another block. Called for catching Jasmine Joyner on the arm, and Jasmine Joyner will head to the line. Wildcats, one of many issues today, but free throws have been one of them. 13 of 22 from the line as a team. It's just 59%. Joyner has to be the only real bright spot that they can take from this game. She's up to 31 personal to go with 13 rebounds. And makes them both. Wildcats will throw a bit of pressure out. Looks like a 1-2-1-1 press. Charles throws it away. Shumpert comes up with the steal from the inbound. Joyner working on Charles, kicks it to Shumpert in the corner. Corner 3 is short, and Kennedy Leonard with a rebound. And Barkin will come away with it. Leonard gets in front of Shumpert, gets all the way to the baseline, kicks it out. Beckford Norton toes the line on a jump shot, and under pressure from Chloe Gaynor knocks it down. Shanice Beckford Norton into double digits herself, and Lions looking to close this game out strong as we are into the final 2 minutes now in Nottingham. Joyner and Beckford Norton fighting down low. Casanova cut off by Kramanovic, thrown it away. Charles comes up with it. Layup to Leonard, cuts in front of Shumpert and converts. Barking again, defense to offense, but Joyner's all the way down the floor. Shumpert sees her. Joyner eventually comes up with it. Layup over Charles is no good, and Leonard unable to save it. But it must be said as well, Barking's guards have fought really well down low when they switch onto Joyner, especially this second half, fronting and making Joyner's life difficult. And you could really see as the game's grown, Joyner becoming more and more frustrated. And Coach Mark Clark again making subs. Looks like Henry Leonard will be done for the afternoon, along with Chantel Charles. As Joyner, more points on her tally. Inbound play, looked like the same inbound play they drew up in the timeout. Goes to work, and Wildcats again jumping into this 1-2-1-1 press. Going over, trying to split the double team as Joyner and Casanova went to trap her, but Casanova called for the reach in, only the third team foul for the Wildcats, so ball still on the Barking end line as Gornova throws it off the side of the backboard and an easy steal for Joyner. Ball basically just fell into her hands, and Beckford Norton, no option, trying to go for a loose ball, makes contact and will send Joyner back to the line for her 9th and 10th attempts of the afternoon. Joyner makes the first. And now is a chance to lead all scorers, believe it or not, on the afternoon, which seemed impossible the way Castle Green was playing the first half. Second rims out, and Nottingham again into this trap, and Jasmine Joyner called for the foul. Wildcats press causing some problems for Lions, but they are also fouling in it. That's the second foul in quick succession out of the press. And Kuzmanovic throws the inbound away for the second time. Schumpert with the steal. Casanova, long two from the right wing, no good. And Schumpert will bring the offensive rebound out, splits the hedge on the pick and roll and floats it up. Lead down to 18, no doubt too late. Beckford Norton slips in the backcourt and is tied up. Joyner and Beckford Norton having words with each other. And Jasmine Joyner will get a tee. And we'll see, it looks like there's a second tee as well. We'll see what the calls are. First technical is on Joyner indeed. And the second on Chelsea Schumpert. Both Wildcats Americans seem to have subbed themselves out. It is Schumpert's fifth foul. So she is done. And tempers somewhat bizarrely flaring over with 1 minute to go. And it'll be Beckford Norton to head to line to shoot the technical free throws. And indeed makes the second. And with the technicals occurring in the backcourt, obviously jump ball was called, so it'll be Wildcats ball. So Wildcats with the steal but cancel out with 2 technical fouls. And with a minute to go, perhaps unhappy with his team's temperament down the stretch, Coach Kenrick Leybird will use his final timeout of the game. Score Nottingham 70, Barking 90. A reminder here that we will bring you post-game interviews, certainly with the Wildcats, but we'll also speak with Barking and try and get some reaction from their side as well. So make sure you stay with us at the conclusion of this game, as certainly Barking are going to be happy with their work this afternoon. Reminder that Wildcats' next home game is on the back of the doubleheader after the international break here on the Sunday against the Caledonia Pride. tip-off currently at 5:30, but stay in touch with the Wildcats socials in case there's an updated tip-off time. And also, don't forget to subscribe to the YouTube page. All Wildcats games this year will be streamed live on the Nottingham Wildcats YouTube page. And the club are also looking at producing some additional content as the season rolls on. So onto the floor for the Wildcats: Freeman, Gaynor, Eveson, Casanova and Joyner as we enter the last minute. Casanova into Joyner in the post, double teamed. Joyner eventually comes up with her own rebound, and Wildcats again will jump into this press. But Beckford Norton breaks it 3-on-2 as Beckford Norton cuts in front of Eveson, but will slow it up with the Lions up 18. Lavinia in the corner, back out to Goranova, who's really made an impact this second half. Beckford Norton, Goranova left open for a straightaway three off to the right. Rebound Umea, and she converts. Barking's lead back up to 20 as we're into the final 25 seconds. Wildcats will have to shoot it with a little differential. Casanova deflected out of bounds by Kuzmanovic. And with 15 on the shot clock, Wildcats will have the end line possession. Freeman back to Gaynor in the post up. Gaynor turnaround jump shot is good. Chloe Gaynor 100% from the floor, and the lead is down to 18. And see if Barking can get the ball over to avoid the 8-second violation. They do just about. Lavinia long two, knocks it down. Nicole Lavinia. In fact, 9 Barking players out of the 10 that have played now on the score sheet. Just Kuzmanovic unable to go, but the game is done here in Nottingham. Nottingham Wildcats 74, Barking Abbey, London Lions 94. Stay with us, we will get you post-game reaction shortly. Welcome back to Nottingham Wildcats Arena, joined by Cassie Breen and Mark Clark. 20-point win on the road in Nottingham. Must be delighted with that, Mark, overall.
Oh, absolutely delighted. We talked a lot about how we wanted to play. We did a very good job defensively. Shanice was tremendous in the backcourt defensively. Really did. That's where things started for us in terms of the way we play defense. And then you only have to look at the stat sheet to know what happened at the other end of the floor. Cassie's that good a shooter that even when you're chasing her off the line. But we do a great job getting her the ball. Kennedy does a great job getting her the ball. And we run some stuff where we were getting open screens.
Cassie, 35 points personal for you, 29 in the first half. Kind of where you took off in the league against Newcastle with an explosive first half. Just talk about how this team are helping you find shots.
Yeah, I mean, I have to give it up to my post players and Ken and Shanice when she steps in, and Ness when she steps in point guard. So it's really all to them, and they just, find me, and I'm able to knock down shots with a lot of practice and basket and practice and shooting. So, I mean, they just know when to give me the ball. So I'm super happy that I have them on my team.
And then obviously you talked about Shanice on the defense end, but really your whole guard seemed to just lock up the Wildcats backcourt. I think Chelsea Shumpert was almost 5 of 20 from the floor. Just talk about the impact that defense allows you to get out and run as well.
Well, I think we've got the best 3-guard combination in the league, so they can feed. So today Shanice had the responsibility to guard the ball as much. When we played Newcastle with their backcourt, Kennedy did a really good job getting the ball where we wanted to get the ball. So they help each other a lot. We switch a lot. But it's a defensive system. They ran the system pretty well today. We knew that it was going to be tough to keep Jasmine Joyner off the glass. And, at times you're not going to stop a rebound, but hopefully we minimize that.
And then obviously looking forward, obviously international break now, so another stoppage, but how do you carry on building? Obviously you're building great momentum, 4 straight wins on the bounce across all competitions, and then a tricky contest off the back of the break, potentially against Leicester.
Well, ask Cassie how we do it, because for me, from the sideline, it's like we're running practice and we're trying to do the right things. The players, to try and get into rhythm is tough.
I think we just have a really good chemistry. Like Mark said, our 3-guard and then our post players, we all really get along, and we all pick each other up at practice, and that's where we need to make it harder. So we have a really good team. We all come together, and we got some really good coaches, so it makes up for that.
Perfect. Well, guys, 20-point win. I know you'll have a nice trip home now after that. Have a safe international break, and I'm sure the league will see you again shortly.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks. Cheers.
And obviously you can just see in the corner, Nottingham still talking things over. We will have Kenrick Leybird and Jasmine Joyner joining us shortly. So if you just hold on here, we will we'll get some reaction from the Nottingham camp. And obviously a lot to talk about with 2 straight losses in the league, dropping Nottingham to 2 and 3 now on the season. As for Barking, we just mentioned 4 straight wins in all competitions, 2-0 in the league, and potentially tough games coming out of the break. Oakland and Leicester. The way we're looking at potential top 3 matchup with this Barking team. Nottingham is still talking, so I'll just jump off camera briefly and just bring you some of the highlight stat lines. We talked about Cassie Breen's 35 points. It was 35 points, 4 rebounds on 12 of 19 shooting. Kennedy Leonard 14, 11 assists and 6 rebounds. And Shanice Beck for Norton, we talked about her defence, but also contributed 12 points, 5 rebounds. As for the Wildcats, Jasmine Joyner 37 and 13. Chelsea Shumpert, we said it in the interview, quiet afternoon. It was 5 of 22 shooting for her, 13 points. And Jasmine and Kenrick are just making their way over. Guys, tough defeat. Just talk about, obviously you wanted to bounce back, but especially what you saw on the defensive end in the first half. We were talking about pre-game trying to keep that down, and Barking exploded in the first 15 minutes.
Yeah, I mean, we knew what Cassie Breen was going to do defensively. We weren't good enough. We talked about this all week. We were better in transition maybe than we were in Essex, but at the end of the day, we gave a shooter that was warm. Made her look like a superstar. She had 29 points in the first half. Till we switched Jazz onto her, we really didn't calm her down till the second half. And again, we had our chances to get back in the game. Didn't execute.
And Jazz, one positive, you had a strong performance yourself, 37 points, but just talk about how you realise that you need to get others involved as well, and how your game sort of materialised on that end as well with assists and other things that you're asking to be done this year.
I think it was kind of about staying positive. I think that was the most important thing through it. Like, it's hard. I mean, we're going through a hard time, pandemic, everything else, but that shouldn't matter about our performance. Oh, okay. Oh, yeah. So with that, I knew, getting my teammates in, maybe just talking to them, encouraging them, motivating them, that would kind of help them, get them involved and hopefully, start to spark on defense.
And Kenrick, obviously 2 on the bounce. You've got a little bit of a break now, which I'm sure you're probably glad of. What sort of the takeaways you're immediately thinking going into the international break of where this team needs to go to evolve?
Yeah, I mean, again, look, our trajectory has been good. Today, yes, we weren't great, and we were a little short-handed. We started the game maybe feeling a little sorry for ourselves with the amount of injuries and the amount of problems we had. But that can't be. We showed we can compete with them, whoever we have. After the break, you bring 4 or 5 people back in. Maybe you make things a little bit more competitive and you challenge people to be better. That's all we can do, challenge people to be better. We are not concerned. We're going to be very good come playoff time. We showed you that really nice and early with a couple of days of practice. So we're not concerned. It's just frustration right now.
And Jazz, got to ask, a little bit of frustration at the end of the game. Is that just disappointment with performance, or is there other things that are kind of a little bit of a competitive spirit, shall we say, coming out of you?
I'm going to keep it light and say competitive spirit, you know? But, you know, like I said, I mean, hey, that's teams like that, their players going to feel like that. We made them feel like that by the way we play, you know? So I'm going to just say that. So, I mean, hey, you're going to say something, but like I said, we're going to be great at the end of the year. So this is a game, I feel like you have to feel a loss like this. Every team's going to go through this. You got to feel a loss like this. So I'm pretty sure we're not going to want to feel this again, and it's going to be another good game when we have to play them again.
Perfect. Guys, I'll let you go, finish your post game, get you stretching. We'll wrap up conclusion here from the Wildcats Arena. Reminder, Nottingham coming back into a double header. They'll be here Sunday the 14th against the Caledonia Pride.
Appreciate you. Thank you.
Thanks.